Welcome to last week's news today and another week of Ash's development. What an amazing week to share with you. We're excited to show off the Mage update, so let's get started. The stream focused on the frost and lightning elements. We did capture some of the other element abilities of the Mage archetype. Thanks, Steven. Intrepid also showed how these elements can interact and work together to create synergies. Let's check out the skills. Some people might recognize this skill from Alpha 1. Blink is a classic gap opener and closer skill. Shell is a big health shield that absorbs a large amount of damage before breaking. Ball lightning creates a large ball that travels forward slowly, dealing periodic lightning damage to enemies it overlaps with, and applies electrified stack to targets with each hit. What was really cool about this demonstration is how we can see the lightning interacting with the environment. Intrepid want their abilities to feel like they are part of the combat. They are achieving this through how it seeks and sticks to certain parts of the environment. They have worked on systems that model the behavior of skills, in this example, the ball lightning. Look how it goes down the stairs, pretty cool. Good to see the classic Blizzard bank, although I prefer Ice Storm, but anyway. It's good to see the character is able to move slowly while casting, which makes me wonder if an augment could possibly speed the movement up. And now casting ball lightning, then blinking to make enemies run towards you, then shelling, cone of cold, and blizzarding could be a good farming technique. Speaking of cone of cold, it deals ice damage and applies chilled stacks, which slow the target and can stack to further increase the slow. Now, lightning strike is an ability that charges with varying degrees. For example, it can be released quickly to apply a stack of electrified, or held for longer to also add more damage. When the stack of electrified reaches 10, a shock status effect is applied to the target. Then with each hit of damage done, a stack of electrified is consumed, which then allows an extra proc of damage. Elemental empowerment ties in with the elemental status effect. The previous skill showed a shock effect, and we had seen chilled stacks from Frost. This allows you to continue building elemental stacks of your choice. Frostbolt seems like the basic way to apply the chilled effect on enemies, and in this clip we can see that the target has two elemental stacks on the target, frozen and electrified, and another status from using a lightning strike triggers a lot of damage. Chain Lightning's casting animation is pretty sick, especially with how it arcs around the environment, and what it does is, of course, it hits your target and then chains to all nearby enemies, dealing lightning damage and applying 3 stacks of electrified to each target hit. This second clip shows how the ability can connect to targets from around objects. You can also turn when casting this skill. The team talks about how there is a big focus on player agency in the design to ensure that it feels like you are in control of your abilities. Sleep is an excellent CC ability that we think looks awesome, and it's great that the character blows purple powder to do so. Any damage, of course, will immediately break the CC. Arcane Volley is a quick-firing arcane damage spell that actually works very well with the shocked effect, which happens at 10 stacks of electrified. That each hit will trigger additional damage. There were other abilities that were not shown off, but they happened to mouse over each of them, so we have a bit of info for each one. Arcane Empowerment temporarily, dramatically increased cast time while active. Consume all spell charges for increased duration per charge consumed. Spell charges are generated whenever you cast an offensive mage spell while not under the effects of Arcane Empowerment. Each generates 1 charge up to a maximum of 10. I have no idea what this means. Unless perhaps increase is a typo and it's actually some kind of buff that decreases cast time based on how many stacks you accrue before activating the ability. Let me know if you have a better idea in the comments. Fireball seems to be instant cast with 3 charges and will apply a stack of burning to the target. Can't wait to see what all of these different effects do and how they interact with other spells and archetype abilities. Fissure calls forth a series of jagged spikes of earth in a line in front of the caster, dealing earth damage and applying 2 stacks of earth into each enemy hit along its path, and then launching them in the air. Nice! Love me some earth magic. Magma Field erupts the earth at a target location, forming a boiling pool of lava that deals fire damage to enemies per tick, while periodically applying a stack of burning to enemies within the area. Sounds like a targeted static AoE that does some dot damage and stacking. Finally, Meteor conjures a massive flaming rock before sending it hurtling towards the target location. Upon impact, it deals major fire damage while knocking foes flying, and then continues to roll forward for its remaining distance, dealing additional fire damage while applying stacks of burning to enemies along its path. That just sounds so fun, and maybe it's a replacement for the Meteor Storm that was in Alpha 1, which summoned up to 3 of them. Although perhaps this is just a rank 1 version of the skill, we shall see. In the end, they did mention that you can focus on one element if you wish, but it would reduce the synergy possibilities. They didn't talk too much about augments, but this one was mentioned. Time duration of skills can be one of the skill features that can be changed with augment abilities. Steven also hopped into Discord to chat, and this is in regards to projectiles going around objects. He said, "I've asked the combat strike team to play with certain abilities having indirect fire, meaning some of the projectiles could path around collisions so long as the max distance traveled is not exceeded." Someone asked, "Can we cast them without having line of sight as long as the enemy is tabbed?" Steven said, "Yes, so long as the distance around the obscuring collision does not reach the max refined distance traveled for that ability. Only for skills that do curve, which are limited, but they are not exclusive to Mage as they might be littered around different class kits. Also, like many effects conferred by abilities, there would be counterplay to these curving abilities. As always, everything is a work in progress, as Steven said that I wouldn't be concerned. It's just a prototype desire. Balance implications could kill the idea, but we will see after prototyping further." Now, if you want to give your feedback on the Mage archetype, you can via the forums. And we also got to see gliding in action. These are exclusive to tier 2 mounts. Steven showed off the Thundering Bolt Beast, which is a cosmetic skin from 2019. It looks amazing. And now, the art montage.